All right. Yeah, you should be able to hear me now. That should be better. Okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry about that. All right. Yeah, that should be good. Yes, Tanya, I should be fine now. Yeah. Yeah, so as I was saying, yeah, I was just saying that crypto is something that I've never really spoke about, and it's an old subject. You know, a lot of things have happened in the crypto space in Africa, good and bad things. But I thought I ought to share what I'm doing because, you know, it seemed to be going well so far with myself. And I actually have an expert that I wanted to bring on board. His name is Tim. He's from Joburg. He's been telling me about cryptocurrency since forever. And I trust him. You know, he's not trying to like sell something or trying to um, get you to join a broker. He's just being himself, and giving out information for free. And those are the people that I love connecting with. You know, the people that really care. But this is kind of coming to a closing when it comes to me dialing in on this frequency, talking about money. Just because personally, I'm more feeling drawn towards the spiritual work that we need to do as humans, and especially as Black people, especially as African people. So I'm more delving into that. I'm going to be talking more about you know, about the mental aspect of things, the spiritual aspect of things. I don't think I'll be going live as much anymore, and I'll be, you know, doing the money stuff. I think that time is over. And whoever tapped in, you know, whoever listened in 2020 when I was really, you know, pushing the work and pushing the new money stuff and the e-commerce stuff, you know, whoever actually listened and practiced what, you know, what I was putting out, those people are probably reaping it in at the moment. But I won't be dialing in on that frequency going forward. There's other things that I want to get into. In fact, today I'm doing a men's walk. I'm organizing a men's walk out here in the Caribbeans. We know, to unite Black men. We all know Black men have been through a lot of things. So I've organized a walk out here. So those are the kind of things that I'm more looking to do. But before I leave, um, I wanted to, you know, give you one more gem, which is, you know, the cryptocurrency. And Tim is online now, so I'm just gonna bring Tim on board, and then yeah, we can just have a conversation, Tim, and let's talk, let's share, let's talk. Let me see if I can put Tim on at the stream. Hey, Timothy is on. Yeah, Timothy's here. What's happening? Yo, you cut your hair.
I did.
Yeah, you cut your hair, man.
Yeah, I've actually been mostly like this.
You've been hiding. You've been hiding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
cut it. But yeah.
you had the dreads going on. I'm just putting the dreads at the top. They look messy at the moment because I'm just adding them on at the top now.
Yeah.
So they look
but
crazy.
no, but you look amazing, man. It's good to see
Okay.
you.
Thanks. No, it's good. It's good to see you too. You know, we were meant to connect a while ago, but you know, I wasn't really in the whole. Actually I was in the crypto space because I was working with a teacher in the crypto space. I remember we were talking about it. But personally myself, I wasn't too invested. I think there's some sound issues on your side.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's very sensitive though. I can hear dogs. I can hear everything. I don't know what's going on. You might have to like tone it down a little bit on the microphone.
Okay, yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I think now that I'm kind of leaving this space, you know, I'm leaving the whole money thing behind. I've done that. I've been preaching the money thing for a long time now. I just thought, okay, let me talk about the crypto because um, there's been a lot of misconceptions in Africa, a lot of scams in Africa, but it is still a good opportunity. And since I've tapped into it, I've seen it myself. Like I said, I've put probably about half my money into crypto right now, and you know, hey, it's been great to see what cryptocurrency can do. So I wanted to kind of go back and forth with you about some of the opportunities that are available. I want to talk about staking because that's what I'm going into it at the moment, investing and trading, especially day trading, because I can imagine a lot of people just want to, day trade. And then I want to take some questions, So I haven't actually interacted with the people. Sorry about that, guys. But I just wanted to dive straight into it, get it over and done with. And then I've got a few things I need to do. I'm doing a men's walk, so I've got to go and tend to that. So yeah, Tim, I guess introduce yourself. This is you. This is what you do. You've been doing these webinars for a long time. So introduce yourself to the peoples, man.
Yeah, no, thanks, man. And I'm happy to have this opportunity and to connect with you. And it's really an exciting thing. I think just to kind of paint the picture, we're at a very special point in time. I think historically, and I call it a generational opportunity because of just how things are playing out together and what that is enabling and making possible for us. And I think it's a great opportunity to be alive. It's a wonderful, wonderful time, in as much as we have the challenges that have forced us to be a little bit more indoors, or depending on your flavor, like my friend who is in Costa Rica somewhere. I think crypto is really something that each one of us should really be thinking about in terms of how are we engaging with it, are we understanding it, and if maybe let me just see if I can share my screen just to provide some context to what I'm talking about. Let me see. I hope it will allow me to share my screen.
You can share your screen. I think what I'll do is I'll put it like this, and then if you share, there we go. So now your screen is there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me do
so we've come a long way, if you think of it in terms of history of money, the one that you've been preaching, finance and money, and I think from the days of barter trading, where it was one item for another, to commodities along the way, to metals. I mean, things like silver and gold are still topical, and from a world economics perspective, of course, we are aware that we are no longer attached to what they used to call the gold standard from the 70s, to now the absolutely messy world that has got us in trouble and really completely devalued or taken away value, paper money, plastic money. Whereas it's convenient, in some instances, it's actually quite disastrous in terms of us being able to carry value forward, and even in specific ways of, for example, transacting online. I mean, plastic money has been the source of all sorts of scams online, and we're all familiar with that. To now where we are, which I think we are at the beginning of the crypto revolution, as I call it, around the world. And I'm happy to report, as somebody who lives in Africa and very passionate, that actually Africa leads the world. I think the latest number from Forbes actually is that crypto has grown 1,200% in the last year alone in Africa. I mean, it's a crazy thing. So I think that the message which you should take out in just those thoughts is that you must have a strategy for crypto. You must have a plan how you're going to engage with it beyond the noise and beyond everything else that is happening. So I think that's just maybe my initial thoughts.
Yeah, and I was listening to 19 Keys from America. He's an Islamic teacher who talks about wealth and finance, and he was saying that this is an opportunity for Black people, especially, and people of color all over the world, to really get in on the game, because we missed out on everything. We even missed out on the e-commerce boom. When I was talking about e-commerce in 2018, nobody cared. And right now, think about the amount of companies that have just blossomed because of COVID. So
I think I might need to kill one of my feeds. Maybe let me kill. Which one should I kill? Should I stop sharing, or maybe because I think it's a bit
fine.
heavy on my line?
I've got it all under control on my side. I've got it all under control. So so with the crypto, it's like there's still time, and there's so many different coins. In fact, let's just get into that, because everyone knows about Bitcoin. I don't need to tell you about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is kind of the first one to pop up, but now there are over 300 different coins. You know, I'm looking at gaming coins. I'm looking at, you know, the financial coins, because the finance system is not taking on cryptocurrency. Those coins are doing really well. So maybe you can just talk more about like what cryptocurrency really is and what are the different currencies. Because, you know, we know about pounds, we know about dollars, we know about yen, you know, and all these currencies and rands. But let's actually talk more about, okay, these cryptocurrencies, why are there so many, and what are they and how do they function? Tim, I hope I can't see you anymore. You just completely disappeared. I think Tim is going through his own little thing there. Let me just put myself back on whilst Tim is sorting out stuff. So as I was saying, we all know about cryptocurrency, no, about Bitcoin, sorry, as the main cryptocurrency. And some of you might have already invested. In fact, if you have already invested in Bitcoin, please put it on the chat. Just tell me if you've invested in it already, because, you know, people have been talking about Bitcoin on the news. Bitcoin has been a major subject in South Africa, especially after that recent scam where a broker took a lot of people's money and disappeared. So Bitcoin has been a big thing. But the truth of the matter is that there's like hundreds of other different cryptocurrencies that have also come out and are doing really well. And just to kind of show you what I'm talking about, I'm going to share my screen now and show you one of the coins that I've been looking at. This is just one of them that I've kind of been, you know, tapping into. And, you know, you really see the potential of what it is that I'm talking about and why this is important and why we need to be looking into this space, because people are making 100x on their investment. And I'm just talking about investing it. We will touch on trading as well later on, but I'm just talking about investment. And this is one of the coins that I've really been looking at, and it's a gaming coin. So it's a currency that's only used in game. For some of you, that might be a really strange concept. You might never even play the game online, but gaming is huge. Gaming is bigger than Hollywood right now. So many people are gaming and investing money into these games, you know, paying to get access to certain features of the game. And this coin, as you can see here on the 12th of September, it was at 2 cents per Gala coin, and then in less than a week, it went all the way to 11 cents. So that means a 500% increase in less than a week. So if you invested, let's say, 10,000 rand, you would have made an extra 40,000 rands on your investment within a week. That's the kind of money we're talking about. That's the kind of returns that people are seeing. And this is just one of the coins. There's many other coins that are having similar performances. And the cryptocurrencies are all being used for different things. But I'm gonna take it back to Tim. I think Tim has just come online again now. And I just want you to kind of explain to people, okay, there's all these different coins, right? There's like, you know, there's Algo, there's Cardano, there's Binance, there's these, you know, you can get confused. There's stable coins. And I just wanted you to kind of explain in layman's terms for an absolute beginner, what are these, you know, why are there so many coins? What are the use of these coins? Why is it important to invest in these coins? We all know about Bitcoin. What's the difference? So kind of like quickly go through that before we get into the meat of things. Thanks everyone that's on board. Thanks everyone that's joining. Yeah, this is Timothy. He is a cryptocurrency expert based in Johannesburg. So I'm gonna pass it over to you, brother.
Thank you, and sorry for all the connection issues. So I think maybe I like what you just shared in terms of your screen showing this different types of coins that we have, and I think this is probably the place that I would say most of the people should go to, which is this CoinMarketCap, because this is where you have all the coins. As you can see, we have 11,000 coins. But I'll just help you in just like in a minute or two.
11,000. Wow. I was
Yes, to
like
figure out.
There's 11,000
So to figure out,
coins.
yeah. to figure out how, how do you make sense of this, and how do you, because it's overwhelming. 11,000, it's a lot, So I have, I would suggest, three kinds of analysis that you need to do. The first one is fundamental analysis. Fundamentals analysis is, these are traditional concept that applies to all types of asset classes, whether you're buying property or you're buying stocks or a bond or anything like that. You kind of have to understand, or even a company, just looking at investing in a company, you look at the fundamentals. Who are the people behind the venture?
Okay,
and
just
what's
dial it back.
Yeah.
Just dial it back a little
Yeah.
bit, because you're going far. I don't even think a lot of people are ready for this, because I even asked people, yo, who here has invested in Bitcoin? And I still haven't had a reply. So that means that everyone who's watching right now probably hasn't ever invested in Bitcoin. So let's kind of dial it back a little bit and just talk about what all these different cryptocurrencies are, and why is it even worth looking into this and doing the research to put your money into this stuff.
Okay, so maybe let me just do, I'm not sure if I have a nice slide that will speak to that, but maybe I'll try to, okay, let me stick to the evolution of money, and then I'll go to one slide here. I don't have more than, I'll keep my slides to probably two, and some thoughts. And then I'll get back to this point I was trying to make, and we'll talk about the marketplace. So I think, again, in the context of money and its evolution over time, as far back as we know civilization to have existed, and the need to exchange value. And of course, we are living in the information age to now, whatever they call the fourth industrial revolution, which is a convergence of all these different ideas and technologies. And, I mean, the building block is is the internet, really. The building block is the internet. Our existence and our exchange of value and our economics is driven by the internet now. So it's the digital era, if you wish. So it's not just information age, it's the world of value. And the world of value, the biggest challenge, if I may put it that way, that has existed in that era is, yes, you could exchange information online, but you couldn't really exchange value. I'll give you an example. Now, if you had a song, or if you have a song, you can send that song to somebody. You can use it nowadays. You can use WhatsApp. You can send it via Telegram. You can attach it, via Dropbox, or you can send it to the other person. But they'll have a copy of the song, meaning the song you'll have a copy, and the copy would remain with you. And then, so that was a challenge for a long time, because some people argue and say, yeah, Bitcoin is useless, it doesn't add any value. And I say to them, I'm an engineer, I'm a technologist. I have a funny profile of myself here that just gives a quick picture of who I am and why I should care to listen to me. I studied this thing. I studied Bitcoin in particular, and its utility. Its utility in one word is it solves that problem of moving value from point A to B using the internet infrastructure. Because you could move a song from A to B. You could move a file, if it is a PDF document or a Word document, whatever it is, from one point to another, but it will just be a copy. But now when you're moving money, you cannot make a copy of money. You cannot move a copy of money. You have to move, that money has to move from address A to B without friction. And they should be confirmation that it has actually moved from you to the person that you're sending it to. And if the context of that movement is a transaction, then that there should be confirmation that yes, that money has arrived and the other person has received it. So I think that's a fundamental thing we must understand in the back of our minds in terms of what is the utility of, let's say, Bitcoin and those that are similar to Bitcoin, which we call cryptocurrency generally, which fall in the category of moving value from A to B. And value, example, payment of a good or a service. Or maybe you're just sending this to your relatives. Maybe you're based in another geographical location, you're sending money to maybe your brothers in Africa. If you're sending it from North America, for example, that value would have moved over the internet without friction, without needing an intermediary, without needing a person in the middle to facilitate that. That's the magic and the power. And that's why you should care about this space. So that's probably what you'd call generation one or category one. of what cryptocurrency has been able to achieve. And a specific example of this would obviously be Bitcoin. And now what has happened, and I don't want to go too far into
let's keep
maybe
it
the
light.
evolutions. I want to keep it light, but I want to, but let me give you a big picture so that I think I want to shock everybody first, because once you're shocked, then you can be able to really adjust to that. So, and then I'll just go to the statement I want to make. So, basics, class 101, beginning point, 2008, we have a crash of the economy. And then, because this issue has been there on the internet for a long time, since the web emerged in the 90s, late 90s, with what you call HTML, which allowed information to be shared across devices, computers in this case, before even mobile. And then you have companies, internet companies. We all know of Amazon, right? And then we know companies like Facebook. And then we know of companies that have emerged, using the internet, like Apple, which, are big companies. They're the largest companies in the world. And then now let's talk about Bitcoin. The economy crashes and we have the disaster in 2008. And then somebody comes up with this thing called Bitcoin, which I've mentioned the innovation behind it. And they're supposed to say, what if we can have a currency that is native to the internet that can allow value to move across the board? So utility number one is the movement of value from A to B. But we are not in 2009 now, and we're not in 2010. We're actually in 2021. There's a lot of other developments that have come that you may have heard about, which can make you a crazy amount of money. And I'm just going to leave it on the number. I'm not going to explain the concepts in depth. I'm going to talk about something that was very topical, which is what you call decentralized finance, which is a disruption of banking as you know it. That's actually what it is. And then something that has really, really been on the airwaves in the past year, this year actually, not the past year, this year, that has absolutely created massive, massive amounts of money. I mean, what you call non-fungible tokens. I'm just really messing up with you so that you can know if you're not going to start on step number one, then I think you're going to miss out on a lot. Now, let me pause there. There's a lot of money that is being made and there's an impact. I mean, the other day, El Salvador, which is not too far away from has actually adopted Bitcoin officially, which was seen as a joke. So I'm not even going to talk about investors, individuals, the rest of us throwing our money, making 800%, 1,000%, different coins. We can talk about those ones. Institutions who are now companies who are buying crypto, banks who used to hate crypto are actually on board. And countries who used to think this is a joke have actually adopted officially in their own constitutions, in their own, not necessarily constitutions, but their own laws, adopted this as currency. So it's not really guesswork anymore. So if we go back to this picture here, crypto is the new money. And I think you must ask yourself the question, do you have a plan? Or otherwise you'll just really get lost. So I have this statement that I make as an opening note to say, if you don't really have a crypto strategy and you say, I'm going to burn the light, midnight light to understand what the hell is going on, then I only have one message for you, which is you actually hate yourself and you don't believe in your own future and you really need to change that. So I'm going to pause there and then I'm going to be nice after this. I promise. Yeah. So I've said a lot and I think so in terms of the evolution, so the beginning point is Bitcoin. Now the evolution is absolutely crazy. It's very difficult to keep pace with it. But I think I would say as a starting point, we need to get into the game. That's actually just the beginning point. And then we can talk about the other concepts along the way. Yeah.
So would you say in terms of getting in the game, would you say that it's simply just buying some Bitcoin and putting it in the wallet, which I think a lot of people here haven't done because I'm still yet to have anyone say that they bought. I think the ones that probably already bought wouldn't have tapped into this webinar because obviously they already know what's up in it. But would you say like the first step would just be, just buy, like get in there, get yourself some Bitcoins, get yourself some Ethereum and just hold? Would you say that's the first step?
That's the first step. Absolutely. You're right. So the first step is just really, in fact, there's what you call top 10 here. and I'll actually limit the conversation and my guidance to just these top 10. Forget about 11,000. Forget about even what I'll probably might get to the analysis part, but the top 10 have been validated. So coin number one, maybe number one and number two. Coin number one is what I've mentioned, Bitcoin, which is the grandfather of all the other coins, that has grown from zero value to where it is at today. Can you see this number here? We'll just focus in here and just say 7 days. Maybe let's look at. Sorry, I just want to see if I can be able to give a dial in terms of. Okay, no, this has messed me up a little bit. I don't want to. Okay, I don't want to confuse you guys. Let me just kind of refresh the page. I want to give you a view. Let's see if we can go to the charts that gives you historical value of Bitcoin over time. Let's see even just the past year alone. The low was $10,000 to one Bitcoin. The high, which happened, I think in May, was 64,000. The current price is, or the current value is 47,000. So just a year alone, 1 year alone, we're not talking about 5 years, we're not even talking about 2 years, we're just talking 1 year. So how much in terms of, and this is just Bitcoin alone, we've not even looked at the others, that the one you showed, which has given a crazy amount of percentage in terms of increase. So the starting point is just to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum, and you buy that in an exchange, hold it, don't attach your emotion to it, and it does not have to be a lot. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. In fact, most of us can't buy one Bitcoin. Just buy a fraction. I don't know, 1,000 Rand worth. In fact, my guidance is always 1,000 Rand worth. Buy 1,000 Rand worth, and maybe you can just have that as a starting point. And then from there, you'll see the impact. Because again, if we look at fundamentals tell us that this graph can only go up. This graph can only go up.
Do you think it's going to keep going up?
And it has kept on going up. I remember in 2014,
Sorry.
Was it 2014? 2013, I think. It was, yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. I was going to say, do you think it's going to keep going up for the next, let's say the next year? Do you think there's, or do you think it might crash? Because there's been a lot of controversy as well. People have been scammed.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? Hello, let me see. Yeah, my microphone is working. I think Tim just disappeared there again. Yeah, let's allow him to do his thing. So I was gonna say to him, basically, just put myself on the screen. Like, is it still worth buying? Because I just tapped into it myself. I tapped into it, put some money into this thing, and yeah, how long is it gonna grow for? Is it gonna keep growing? Because there's been a lot of regulations that they've been trying to put into it. But so far it's been good, because like I said, even if you look at the start of this year, I'm gonna bring up the charts again so you guys can see the charts. Let me just bring up the charts. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna share my own screen so you can see the charts. Okay, so we're back on Bitcoin here. So at the start of the year, so if you look at the start of, okay, this is 2020. So a year ago, it was at $10,000, and now it's at 48,000. So, if you would have invested, let's say 10,000 Rand a year ago, you would have 47,000 Rand right now. And my question is, will it still keep going up? I mean, there has been some ups and downs. You got to understand that every time that there's a regulation on Bitcoin, wherever, or something happens, it affects the price. So the volatility is crazy, but overall it's still going up. So if you're gonna just put your money and leave it there, you shouldn't look at it. You should just put your money in and leave it for like the next year. Don't be there, on your phone every single day, seeing if the charts have gone up and down, because that's gonna put you off track. Just put your money in, leave it, and allow it to grow over the course of a year. But Tim has just come through. I want him to answer that question himself. I want to know, because let me see. Let's put him in, bring him in again. Yeah, so there's my question. Like, is it still gonna go up? I mean, I've been hearing talks about $100,000. That's the new goal. Are we gonna join in on that? Like, can we join in on the fun? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So I think we must look at the bigger picture, and that's why I think I like to look at the macro trend. What's the bigger picture? Because that helps you to be able to decision better. Without even being a finance major or an economics major, they're the worst people, unfortunately, when it comes to adoption of anything new, because they'll tell you why it won't work. Yet it actually rides on the same principles that they learned in school. Now, if you look at where we are, the market right now is around 2 trillion. That's the whole market, 11,000 of those. Now, 70% of the value is carried between two coins, Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Right, yeah.
70%.
Right.
Now, and those represent future directions of value. Bitcoin represents value and keeping value, which is essentially what you'd call digital gold. Now, the value of gold today, I can't remember the number, but it's I think somewhere around, I don't know, is it 30 trillion or something like that? Now, Bitcoin is not, it was a trillion a while ago. When it hits 50, it's a trillion. So it's about just slightly below a trillion. So it's almost half the value of what we have at the moment. Now, imagine if this thing does a 20x. It gets to 50 trillion, which indeed it will get, the total market. Yeah. It's very early. It just simple logic and mathematics tells you just get in there, put your money in there and just chill out.
Put your money in.
Or otherwise keep your money in the bank and then see what happens. Honestly, I mean,
just put your money in there and hold it. And so we just looked at all these other coins, right? So there's all these other coins that you can invest in. First of all, before we even go into that, where would you advise people to go to trade? Because recently in South Africa there was the MTX. That was a big thing where people invested their money on the broker. The broker disappeared with the money. So that was a big scam. So now I know a lot of people are scared of cryptocurrency. I'm pretty sure some people just unfollowed me for even making this video. They're like, hey, this guy's talking about cryptocurrency now, he probably wants some money. But I don't need your money. I don't need none of that. I'm good. But just to clarify to the people, like, where do you think is trustworthy? We don't own any. We're doing this for the people. Obviously, we're not asking them to invest in us. But where would you say people should go?
So thank you for that question, because it's an important one. It's one that I talk about. I think I say sign number one is when somebody asks you to send them money, chances are that's actually a scam. Because your money, you should deal with it yourself. The same way we are diligent with traditional banking. You don't send somebody your money. You have to establish, it's an institution that is established, that is known in the market. And that's where you put your money. You don't send somebody to, your money just some random thing that just came and looks cute and has a nice website or has some, nice logo, and you think, you're safe. So I think there's just common sense and basics. So number one, tame your own greed and and just do a little bit of research and homework. Now, what are the guidelines then? I think I have advised that, for crypto, for example, where you buy your crypto, there are different models of doing it. So you buy it from an exchange, and then you can hold it within your own, what you would call your own wallet. And your wallet can either be a soft wallet that you just keep with you, just almost like your phone, or it could be a hard wallet where you just really offline it, like going to the ATM and withdrawing your money and putting it in a safe in a house, unlocking it, and yes, I have $10,000 there. Obviously, you pray that the thieves don't come and then they threaten you, at gunpoint to release, the access codes and so on. So I think that's, the guidance to say, you need to buy your money from a reputable exchange. And you could choose to keep it if you really don't want to do anything with that money, which is you don't want to stake and get interest on it, things like that. And you can just keep it, in a trusted wallet, the different wallets that are available. So, and the nature of those kind of exchanges that you buy from, they are known, like they are large, they are regulated to some extent, not fully, but to some extent.
Yeah, they are regulated.
So don't. I mean, I think we were like. I mean, I live in South Africa. If I hear there's an exchange that just came up, I'll check and say when was it founded? Who are the founders? What's their track record? If it's something that started last year, I'm not going to buy anything from them. I'm sorry. If it's something that obviously, I mean, most of the exchanges are probably 2017 or slightly before. I mean, I'll give you specific ones. In the US and broadly, I mean, Coinbase, which is now publicly listed on the NASDAQ. So it's a regulated exchange. There's other exchanges like Binance. Unfortunately, it has run into some issues recently, but it's a big exchange still. It started in 2017. Yeah. I still use Binance a lot. There's Kraken also in North America. There's Luno, which I think is very popular in Africa, which is again runs across. I think it runs even in the UK and a number of countries, and quite easy to use. Unfortunately, it has very limited number of coins. So things like that. So don't go to the latest, newest kid on the block. I think go for established names. So I think those three ones could actually be a good starting point. And then of course you must just be diligent in terms of if you want to keep your money aside. I mean your coins, it's your wallet. I mean that's probably is always recommended because you have your coins. Nobody can steal it from you because security is a big deal online. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I have to say this for protection. We are not financial advisors. Do your own research.
Yes, please.
Everything that we say, it's not. What do you call it? It's not financial advice. These are just things that we're advising you to do. I mean, it's not even advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing.
Exactly. And I think that's the beauty, right?
I'm like, hey guys, this is what I'm up to. Like, and before and maybe we're going a bit off route, but I think in 2020, I was so invested in, guys, you guys should do this. This is really happening right now. But I just got to a point now where like, I don't really care. Like if people listen or don't listen, I'm just sharing and then leaving it on the internet so that whoever looks at it, whenever they look at it, like after the stream is done, it will stay on YouTube and someone can look at it in a year's time and maybe learn something. And it's just about, how can I say, kind of giving back to the universe. The universe has blessed me with so much. And it's like, oh, let me just give this back. And I feel like you're kind of the same because you don't have to do this. I know, I've seen your webinars. I've seen you put in the work. And it's like, you don't really have to be putting out the info. And I'm looking at the chat now. People are like, wait, no, where should we buy it? You can just buy now and get the. If I want to buy now. But yeah, someone asked, is it wise to start with 500? I'm just gonna put a question up really quickly. I mean, put in what you can. I mean, just if that's what you have, put it in. That 500 might turn into 2,000, or you might lose it. I have to say that too. It might go down to 100, but as long as you have patience and you're willing to leave that there, and it's money that you're willing to just put aside, put it in. But don't put in your bread. Don't put in the money that you're using to buy bread. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So I think, let me put it this way. When I hear people being asked to send money somewhere so that somebody can buy them crypto, I tell them this is the biggest joke, because opening a crypto account is like opening a Gmail account. Like, do you really need help? It's actually so easy. And it's as silly and easy like that. So you don't really have an excuse why you can't do it. Because, I mean, you go to Binance.com, which, you go there to Binance.com, it says open account, whatever. You do the usual due diligence. You send them a copy of your ID document or passport or whatever the case is. In a few minutes, they'll validate and verify who you are, that it's actually your account. And that's it. Pretty much you're done, and then you can, I think the only challenge we have, I think in the recent evolution of regulations is that the banks have actually blocked, you could buy with a credit card about 2 months ago, but they've actually blocked that now. So it becomes a little bit of a challenge because they are trying to contain the whole money flow and all of that. It's just, in summary, they're just really threatened by this new development to the point they're actually saying, we're actually going to block you from buying it because we care about you. Honestly, we all know the banks don't really care about us. So, but so you can still buy, if you're based in South Africa specific, you can go to luno.com, register there, you can buy your crypto. You can use a bank transfer, send your money there. FNB, Standard Bank, they work very well. You can send, and you can be able to buy 500 rand worth of coins. I know they have a limited selection. I think they're selling Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I think one more coin, XRP or something like that. And then Altcoin Trader is also another one, altcointrader.co.za. Those are my two recommended ones for South Africa. If you're elsewhere in the continent, Luno works. Even I think Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania, Ivory Coast, whatever. I mean, this African market, you should be fine with that. And then if you go beyond that, then the likes of Coinbase. The other day I was helping somebody in Canada. Again, they have the same guidance. They have blocked cards and whatnot, but they could be able to buy on Coinbase and Kraken. So those probably would be the ones I would recommend. And you can actually buy for any amount. I think 500 should be good actually to start. That's actually a good amount. And
yeah,
I would suggest
500. Yeah, start with that.
Yeah.
Start with what you
and
can.
Maybe
if you, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe just one more thing to add in terms of strategy. I would rather you do it as a routine. So where you're buying regularly instead of waiting for the price move. So like, I'm gonna buy now. Then no, just say every month, I'm going to set aside $300 or something like that, and I'm going to top up my account. And that maybe, over the next 3 months, I'm going to build my base. Base could probably be, I'm going to buy 500 worth of Bitcoin. I'm going to buy Ethereum next. I'm going to buy just the top 10 on CoinMarketCap. You're safe. You're okay. I can guarantee you, even without doing technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and sentimental analysis. Those are the 3 types of analysis. So it's actually as simple as that. So, I mean, you don't need anybody to now say, send me your money, do all these things. No, you can do it for yourself. And I mean, it's pretty easy actually to do it.
Yeah. And I also wanted to just add as well, make sure that when you start buying these things, you actually do your research. Like even with Bitcoin, you might, you might just listen to us and be like, I like it, but just take like a couple of days where you just look through the information. There's so much information available on this subject and cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Learn about this because this is literally the future. So it's up to you. I think sometimes, people talk about they want to empower themselves, but they don't want to do the work to empower themselves. They don't want to really sit there and learn, but then they complain and they say that this. But there's dudes that are like, there's one guy, he invested 10,000 on Bitcoin before lockdown, and he's made like 140,000. Like, and just because he did his research, he's seen the things coming and he made his money. So if you plant the seed now, in a couple of years time, you might look back at this webinar and be like, that shit changed my life. Sorry for my language. So yeah, I'll definitely say, do your research and get in on the game. Also, Tim, because it's getting to an hour, so I might have to make a move. But I wanted to talk a little bit about. First of all, I want to sit down with you because I want you to help me with my portfolio. I don't know if you do that. Do you do like consultations? Like, how do I like? Because I need your services, man. Like, how does it work?
So it's good that you asked that. So the way we go about it is, and I know you get the feed of what we try to do every other week, is so I teach this on a weekly basis. Actually, we're actually on a break until I think we resume in October, whatever, because we have an event that just talks about crypto at a global level. So that just allows people to really keep on refreshing their knowledge and understanding. And so, I mean, I think I've shared a link with you on some of the recordings we make available for free to the members. But I'm absolutely happy to provide specific guidance and all of that. So we have a community that runs on Telegram if you're interested, and we try to teach this and, just create a pool of people who are interested in the same subject matter and can help each other. Because again, it's a very vast topic, it's not one.
It's a very vast topic. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
I mean, we
and,
didn't
and,
even
and
get
I'm
into
happy
staking.
to share, specifics in terms of your personal strategy or anything like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We didn't even get into staking because staking to get into all of that, you need to follow Tim because I just put his channel up on the chat because staking is. I also put some money in there, and I'm planning to put more. I'm planning to put at least half of my crypto investment on staking because with staking you're
Oof.
getting
Yep.
more of a consistent income. You could be like right now we're making about 2% a week, and that's amazing just by staking and by investing on the infrastructure of the cryptocurrencies that are coming out. So that's a whole different conversation for those of you that just want consistent income every single week and that have a certain amount of money, because a lot of the time there's a minimum amount. Sometimes it'd be like, if you're going as a group, it might be 20,000 rand. If you're going in as an individual, you might have to fork out 500,000 rand. So that's a whole different conversation too. So there are levels to this. Then there's the day trading where you just go in every day and look at the charts and be like, yo, I think it's gonna go up. Let me just put a little money there, and then it goes up, and then you take your money out, and people are killing it with that. People are making bank day trading on crypto. So those are all different conversations. But yeah, you wanted to add?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, so I think there are different layers. So the layer one is getting started. The journey of 1,000, as Lao Tzu famously said, begins with one step. So buy crypto, just get in the game. Two is once you are in and you're comfortable, you have some rhythm and momentum, because also now staking is like what you mentioned, earning interest on your crypto assets, what you have put in there. Because I think that the definition I like is not necessarily cryptocurrency, it's crypto assets. Because this is something that will appreciate in value over time. And it's an investment, just like property and all this other one, but it's a new age one that gives you, it may be agey and risky, but it gives you high returns. And then if you're somebody who's really skilled and knowledgeable, then you can do short-term positions. As a trader, whether you're a day trader or a swing trader, or somebody who's taking positions, there's different ways of making money in this endeavor. And I think again, you cannot get into all those if you do not start. And I've also just shared for your benefit, our Telegram channel where we just really share all this information. But again, the key thing is just get started. Get started today. Don't wait, because again, but I can tell you this, today is September the 19th.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to to challenge, you that anybody mark the price of Bitcoin today. By December, the price will be higher. I can tell you that.
December.
It will be higher. Yeah, by December,
right.
yes. Because the rhythm of the way the market moves, it follows a certain rhythm. Right now, it's consolidating, it's building momentum, and then you're going to see it's going to move up, trend up. And now it's even more guaranteed because institutional investors are putting their money there. So it's not individuals like me and you. They're institutions who are really putting in their balance sheet crypto, specifically Bitcoin. Institutions are putting money there. Every time there's a drop in price, they're just getting more. Tell me what will happen. There is only 21 million. There's not any more that will be printed after that. And we already, I think, passed 18 million, Bitcoin in particular. So you can tell that this is a limited resource, even really scarce than gold.
Yeah. Then it's really once it hits that 21 and you got your money there and you hold on to that. Yo, it's a different story. But yeah, and just to end it, how many? Maybe I should ask you this because I need to sit down with you because I've been doing a lot of research. But how big is your portfolio right now? Are you investing in multiple currencies, or you only invested in a few? Do you advise to go into like portfolios where you diverse and strategize and invest in multiple currencies, or how are you kind of working at the moment?
So if I had time, I would have shown you my quadrant. So I just keep it simple. I like keeping everything simple. If you notice, I don't like to complicate anything. So I like to follow themes. So there's themes is what are similar currencies that are solving the same problems, because a lot of the 11,000 are actually copy and paste of some what is existing. So Bitcoin has copies of it. There's Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, whatever it is, which is just essentially we're saying we're making payments. We are moving value from A to B. But Bitcoin has distinguished itself as the front runner in that, and it cannot be dethroned necessarily in its category. There are those which are now adding smartness. Ethereum is a leading one in terms of that. They're saying we can do beyond payments. We actually can be able to allow automatic transactions, what you call smart contracts and things like that. And even what I mentioned earlier around decentralized finance, which is just finance as we know it, but in a disrupted manner, where you can even borrow money online and all of that using crypto as a base. So there's really a lot of development. So I'll rather cluster them into those themes to say payments,
like collections.
maybe it's the world of smart, and then maybe you can look at specific interests like gaming, for example. So I theme it rather, instead of, okay, I'm going to buy every other coin, because again, it becomes very unwieldy to be able to manage. I would say I've not really diversified my portfolio beyond 5 themes or categories. I try to keep it within that, and then I just concentrate my value around that. So I think that's probably can be an organizing principle for those of you who are getting started. Don't get it like I'm investing into 20 different things. No, we get overwhelmed. They just
you basically look at like gaming, for example, and you're like, oh, I like this. I like what's going on in gaming. Do you then pick a coin in gaming, or do you diversify? And like, how do you do it? Would you like Axie, Gala, Infinity? Like, how would you then invest it? Or would you just pick Axie because you like Axie? You like that coin?
So I try to be a little bit more objective. So I say, okay, it's gaming, right? So that's the big category or grouping. And then you look at who are the leaders, who are doing some interesting, and who has really a strong use case. And then, you look a little bit deeper and say, what do they have under the hood? Who are the founders? Or, what's the direction? What's the vision? What's the path they're going? And then you might find 2 or 3 that are really solid, and then say, okay, fine. Maybe I can actually really diversify with a ratio. You can maybe do a 30-30-30 or a 30-40-20 or whatever the ratio is based on, or you can do a 50, I like the rule of 3 as an organizing principle. So I don't do anything more than 3 within a certain cluster, because again, it becomes just overwhelming. So it's actually not complicated at all. And just for your information, I'm not a finance person, I'm a tech person, and I like simplicity. I'm a quiet and many other things in between, but
many things. It's just another way, like just to kind of end it, and maybe you can tackle this as well. I really think it's time for us to have multiple income streams. So right now I'm trying to get to like at least 7, you know what I mean? And I'm well on my way to getting there. And the reason why
7 is good, by the way.
World is going,
7
you
is
need
good.
7. You need 7. And you want most of them to be income streams where you don't work. Like cryptocurrency for me is good because you don't actually have to work. The money just comes in. And the reason why it's important right now is because of how uncertain the world is. And, we might wake up one day and, you have to stay at home. You might wake up one day and there's no money. And then you have to, and then if you don't have these different income streams and these different skill sets that bring you an income, you're screwed because you just relied on this one thing and that basket broke and all the eggs fell. So it's important nowadays to really tap into all these different things. Like if you can get into some farming, you can do some urban farming, grow some herbs in your apartment, and so like get into all these different things, get into all these different income streams, because we are living in very uncertain times, and this is just one of the things you can do. So I hope people are really picking up on that and applying that. Because hey, I'm applying it to my life. This ain't my income stream. This is not an income stream for me. So I'm applying it in my life. So I laugh because it's we've got like what 4,000 members, probably more. I don't even know. We've got all these members, and probably about 0.1% of them are actually taking it and doing what they need to do, because the content that we do, educational content, is not fun content. People like to laugh. People like to watch things that make them feel good. When you say to someone, hey, you need to get your life together, or you could have joined in on this and you didn't do it, it kind of hurts. So people don't really, it's not the kind of content that people like look out for or really want to tap into, but it's life-changing content. Like this is a life-changing content. Like if you really start getting into these different income streams, your life will change. You will make more money, and you could become a millionaire in 5 to 10 years. It's life-changing content, but it's that initial pain, you know, that like, I'm not doing this right now. I'm a failure, you know, but you got to get over that. But yeah.
I really like what you said. Just maybe my closing thoughts on that. You know, I find that people, if you go look for those silly TikTok videos, how much hits they get, but it's zero value in terms of education. It's just stupid entertainment. I mean, there's a place for entertainment. So I have noticed that people prefer to be entertained than to be educated. Now, of course, if we are clever in our messaging, yes, we do entertainment, but there's a lot of heavy lifting for that. So like now, this video would not be alive like this. We'd have to edit it and give you some very curated advice and just select the good parts. You know, we make sure everything is bright. But you don't, I mean, like the webinars I do are 1 hour long. It requires you to really follow through. And you're going to make money. I promise it will be worth your time. But
it'll be worth your time.
Somebody else will come with a short video and then tell you, yeah, you can make money. This is how you get into crypto. But no, you have to do the work. You have to do the work.
Yeah, you have to do the work. It's insane. It's a crazy world that we live in. But I hope you guys have learned something. Do you want to take questions? So we, you know, if anyone has anything to ask, please, you know, put it in now, or I'm gonna end this live because I've got a life to get back to. So yeah, let me know if you have. Tim is here to answer your question, and Tim, I'm gonna obviously connect with you more probably next week. You know, because I definitely want to dive into some of these industries that I've really been looking at closely. It's like I feel like it's the most viable investment opportunity right now. Like everything else
it is.
You know, gold might be, you know, it's kind of worth it, you know, having some gold, because if we have to get back to trading gold, it's like, you know, gold is there. But you know, it's the most viable one. Okay, seems like there's not any questions. Maybe a lot of it has gone over your head. If a lot of it has, please go back on the video, watch the video, do your own research. You know, it takes a bit of time to understand, you know, cryptocurrency, but it's worth understanding. Or you can just move on with your life, you know, and you know, another video you've watched, you don't really want to learn anything new, it's fine. Just leave it. We'll be good either way. All right, Timothy, I'm gonna catch you. I'm gonna catch you on the WhatsApp, brother.
Yeah, cool. Thank you so much.
What's up, bro?
It's a pleasure.